Hi, welcome back.
Hi. We're already a disaster today, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about Secret Lover. It's a show that Shai has been watching. It's one of her Chinese dramas. We're only going to be covering the first 7 episodes because as of this recording, that's where we're at. According to Shai, right now, somewhere between episodes 8 and 11 will have been released by the time that this is all set up and going. But we're just going to go from there and maybe do a follow-up later on.
At the end?
At the end, when all the episodes have aired.
Yeah, we're almost at the tail end. It's a 12 episode series.
I promise there was 12 at some point in time in life. I promise it was 12. I promise there was.
Didn't you see something that showed that it was?
It literally said because I wanted to know when will the torture end with him not telling his damn parents, right? Like when are you going to tell him? And it said at the very end, episode 12, the last episode. And I was like, okay, so there's 12 episodes. Google it now. It says 10 episodes. So I feel like they took out 2 episodes.
It's based in China. I think it's Taiwanese. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's a Chinese drama. This is one of their second ones that I've seen that's come out. We've had Revenge Love, which we already did a video on that one.
Oh, very well went over.
Yeah, which is great. I love that.
Yeah,
because a lot of effort. We're trying something new with these types of videos, so it's really nice to show the appreciation with that one.
We are really learning as we go, so we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, so
at all. This
is one of the, I think, third ones out from China, at least in that general area. And so far, the ones that I've seen are really good. So I've seen Revenge Love, I've seen ABO, and now we're seeing Secret Lover.
What's ABO?
Alpha, Beta, Omega. Secret Lover.
What's ABO?
Alpha, Beta, Omega.
I love the fact that I was just like, you don't know what that is. Like, what the fuck, Sean? Get it together. Get your shit together. Of course he doesn't know what that is. His mind isn't always 24/7 in the gutter like yours. You have a vacation home there. Anyway, back to story.
Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about that one.
No, we have not, which is hint, hint, wink, wink. But this one is 12 episodes. So we're almost at the tail end of it. I stopped pretty much at the halfway point because it's starting to get into the angsty, and I like to just rip it off in one go.
Like a Band-Aid. Yeah,
like a Band-Aid. I just want to rip it off and just speed run through all of that just to get back to the nitty gritty. And hopefully it has a happy ending.
You said this one has like a manga or a...
Manhwa?
Manhwa.
Yeah, I think it's a manhwa.
So you already know what's coming up to some degree, and that's why you're waiting to let all the angst come at one go?
Yeah, and we're at the angsty part of it now. This is why I stopped where I stopped it at. Because it's, like I said, it's only 12 episodes. And I can summarize this and this.
Mm-hmm.
By episode 2, we had a confession.
Okay.
By episode 3, we were together.
Okay.
By episode 4, we did the do.
Jeez.
By episode 5, we were living together. Like that. So they grip as friends. But you see the pattern?
Yeah. I mean,
and so therefore I knew.
Fast. Holy cow.
But they've known each other since they were children. So
yeah.
You kind of have that leeway of speed running through certain steps.
Yeah.
Because they knew each other since they were kids, which we're going to get into that. But I say all that to preference in any show, everyone who watches dramas like this and this, in this genre of type of drama, we all know if you get together fast, there's a breakup coming.
It's very long. Yeah, he hid his hands, like I told you earlier. He hid his hands and was like, I don't want anybody to know about the relationship. Episode 10, he was like, and what? If you like it, put a ring on it, because and what? And he literally flashed that ring at his face. His face was like, back off from my man. And then he was like, see you on Monday with that report. Yeah, back off. But I give the mentor grief, but he was needed. He really was needed because Hanto needed a wake-up call. He needed somebody to basically beat some sense into him. And the bravado of his confidence, he really didn't have it. He was very insecure. And so the one time I will say this in any show, the breakup was needed. It was needed. They both needed space to really grow and think about how their relationship is. And Jinshi's brother was a good help in that too, so...
Oh.
Yeah, we're still in the angsty part.
Oh, the parents don't know at this point?
That's why it's called Secret.
Fair point.
Secret. So basically, the show starts out with 3 main characters. Well, 2 main characters, a supporting character, but it's 3 characters, right? So you have the 2 boys, and then you have the girl. Mm-hmm. You have Jinshi's character, and then you had, I think it's Xiaoyan. I think that's her name.
Okay.
They were friends first. I think around 10 years old is when they met Tao's character.
Okay.
So these two were best friends. You know, just a duo. Then they met him at a park, and then Jinshi actually saw him first and went up to him and approached him and said, "Do you want to play?" And then it just kind of spearheaded from there, and they've been friends ever since then. And so,
nice.
yeah, right. It was really cute. So it was kind of like faded, whatever. So those three became trio, a trio of best friends. And so every year, they would go to like the seaside and take a picture. So became their tradition that they did.
Oh, that's cute.
Right. But the idea to do that was because it was sad, because Hanto, I'm saying his name wrong, I know, but his character's name, his actual name is Chance. So I could just call him by his legal name, but we're talking about the characters, not the actual actors. You get what I'm saying? So I'm separating the two.
Do the best you can.
Yeah. So they actually went to go look for his mom. Of course, she was not there. And so he's sad. And so they all took a picture and said, "We'll three will always be friends forever." And so that just kind of became their tradition to go there every year and take pictures. Okay. Right. So they turned it into a happy memory, because they didn't find his mom, and they all got in trouble because one, they didn't tell their family where they disappeared off to. They got lost. So they end up growing up together. And so it kind of starts with Jinshi explaining all this, like, whenever they all three or two of them couldn't agree on anything, they would play rock, paper, scissors, and the winner, you know, decides or gets whatever it was that they were arguing about or having a discussion about. And so it goes with him saying, "I was never popular with girls, but my friend Hanto was always popular with them. He always had girlfriends. You know, I never had any luck with them." And so turns out later on, that only was because the girls actually did like Jinshi, but Hanto would interfere and be like, "Well, I'll give it to him." And he would smile and do his charisma, because, you know, puberty hit, and, you know, so they're both good looking, they're both cute, but it was like, "Oh, never mind, I don't like him, I'll date you." And I know it seems like, oh, that's a douchey thing to do.
And it does really come across as, well, in a way, it is a little douchey.
Yeah.
I get it, because he's trying to filter these girls so that, but it's also a selfish motive, because he wants to be with him too.
His motive was very selfish. It was a very selfish motive, because, like, the guy never dated anyone. Jinshi never dated anyone. He didn't know how to talk to girls, didn't know how to approach them. And so,
it's very backhanded.
Right. In a way, it's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that you never actually dated a girl before, but at the same time, I'm making sure that you don't." So Xiaoyang, which is the girl in the group, the trio, Jinshi likes her. He liked her, I'm pretty sure, since they were kids, honestly, but it just kind of grew when they got older. And so he went to Hanto and was like, "Teach me your ways," basically. Like, teach me how to approach girls, date them, whatever. And he was like, "Okay, I'll teach you, but you have to do exactly what I say and everything I do." Me watching that
without questioning it,
without question. So it's kind of just like, this is my best friend. Of course, he's looking out for me. He's not putting two and two together as to why he's doing that.
There's no malicious motive
at all.
None.
And then when it happens, he goes, "How did I end up here?" He's like, "Wait, how did this
turn into what it did?"
Yeah, like, how did I end up doing, like, what is happening? What is happening? What's going on? And then later on, he covers it by saying, "This is what friends do." And he goes, "Oh, you should have just told me that." I'm like, dude, you're a smart man. You're going to school for, like, gaming programming and getting glitches and bugs out of gaming software.
But he can't get the glitches and bugs out of his own life, it seems.
Out of his own brain. Because who's going to believe that? Who believes that that's just what friends do? We just help each other out. We just go
all the way at some point just for the fun of it, because it'll help you with experience or something.
Like, is it, it's just, we're helping each other out. But so, like I said, when I did do the little rundown in the beginning, by episode 3, again, he's like, "I'm confused. You date all these girls. Now you're trying to say you liked me." And he's like, "I've always liked you." And he goes, "Again, confusion, because you've always just dated girls. You never had any inclination for anyone else." He goes, "Yeah, I don't like anybody else. I've liked you since the beginning." You know, like, love at first sight. Not really. I don't think it was that close, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, close enough.
Like the interest was there. So it turns out when they got together, Xiaoyang, she knew about it, because Hanto went to her and told her that he had a crush on Jinshi. So she was already rooting for them. So honestly, I feel like he never would have stood a chance with her anyway. because of that reason. Like she only sees them, I think, as, like I said, I stopped at episode 7, so I don't know what happens past that. She saw them just like, these are my best friend, like brotherly figures, right? So I was like, the awkwardness.
So already there was just no chance.
There was no chance. He was not going to. His misled prediction of just not being good with girls would have came true had he done that, not knowing. Because it's later on that he finds out that Hunto did that with the other girls that liked him in high school, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they were just always together.
Therein lies the douchey part, but at the same time, considering that they already were just like, well, I'll just move my affections over to you. He was like,
it was an easy switch.
He knew they were wrong.
Yeah, it was an easy switch from the jump. Which, like I said, he explained it. He goes, I knew that like their affection for him was just superficial.
Yeah.
It wasn't true affection, true love for him. So therefore, and I'm like, I still messed up, but I can see where your thought process was going with that.
It was a half-baked idea for sure.
Yeah, but he shot a shot.
Yeah.
And he's going to school for architecture. He's going to school for architecture, buildings.
Yeah, architecture.
Thank you.
Listen, off topic just a little bit, but it makes sense what we just talked about, right? The only time that I really am like okay with toxic characters, red flag characters, I'm talking about red flag characters, are in shows.
Mm-hmm.
Because let that be real life, you're going to jail. You are going under the jail. So I'm going to preface that by saying that. So yes, in real life, this would not fly.
No, not at all.
This would not fly. I would not be okay with it. Most people wouldn't. But does it happen?
Literally the conversation we just had.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it balances off what we were just saying. It doesn't work for some. Granted, crazy enough, I think it does happen. It does happen.
Crazy things happen in this
fact
world.
Mixed with fiction.
Yep.
There, it happens.
It does.
But I'm just saying, like, me being, like, giddy about fiction only. It can only happen in stories.
Yeah, because they know how to not preface it, but structure it so that it isn't totally the worst thing in the entire world currently happening.
Some of it is.
Yeah.
It's very questionable, and we're just like, we're not going to question it.
We're not going to question it. We're going to go into the fantasy world, and we're not going to question the reality of the situation that's actually occurring right now in this show that could be very easily replicated in real life, and probably is. No.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to say this before we go back into editing. The Lululand is where all of us in the BL world reside. Okay, the Lululand. We try to visit, we try to just do a drive-by, but sometimes it just grab us, and then you just got to pick up a residency there.
I already reside in Lululand. It's just how I'm getting by in life right now.
The Lulu is true.
But that's literally like their relationship. It's very, and it's really cute because in the beginning, like the intro and everything, they had like these little 2 figurines, and one is the long neck dinosaur, and the other was a triceratops. I'm like, that's y'all. That's your. It's really cute. I think it's really cute. You got one that's just a harmless little bunny, and the other one is a saber-toothed tiger trying to eat him. But I mean, I'm just saying, precious cargo.
Well,
They're
I mean,
really
the
cute.
2 dinosaurs that you were comparing were leaf eaters. So
Well, yeah, they're leaf eaters.
One sounds more like a predator.
I mean, no.
Well, I meant like a predator dinosaur, but I guess you
Like
can read it like
a T-Rex.
Like a T-Rex.
And the other one just a sweet, innocent little
Long neck.
Yeah. No, he's the triceratops because their height's different. If you look at the height difference, yeah. So at least that's my analysis for it. That could be completely wrong. That's just what I saw.
Side note: T-Rexes had the little teeny tiny arms.
I know.
So they were just like it was like a chicken.
Yeah, isn't that what chicken say?
What was that?
I love chickens.
I like how I was just telling you they're little mascots, and we just jumped to chicken T-Rexes. Anywho, but yeah,
I at least put in their side note.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And side note,
back on track.
Maybe.
So they end up getting together by episode 2 or episode 3. No, 2 was a confession, like a full-on confession, because he was kind of avoiding him after that little incident at the theaters. If you know, you know. And then episode 3 is when they was kind of working things out, but Jin-Chi's character was like, for one, I've never dated anyone, and now my first person I'm dating is not only my best friend, but he's also a guy. So I'm dating a guy who's my best friend, and it's my only relationship I've ever been in. So for him, it's kind of just like,
what a whole new round of territory altogether.
It's a whole new world for him. I mean, it's a whole new world for Hunto too, dating a guy at least, because he's dated people before.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want anyone else. So you have Hunto's characters like, tell everybody, shout out to the rooftop, I don't care who knows that I'm dating you and that you are a guy. Whereas you have Jin-Chi's characters is like, no, let's not tell nobody. Like right now, until I'm
more comfortable with the whole thing,
fully comfortable in our relationship and being with you. For me, he's more realistic in this part because he's saying like, let's take it slow. Humanoid, real life, what people would generally feel and react to, mixed with Delulu,
Yeah.
And so he didn't want to tell mom and dad. He didn't want to tell anybody. So the only person that knew about it was Xiaoyang, which is their friend, because she already knew, because Hunto told her before he even really started pursuing him. He had already told her about it. So they're the trio is the only ones that know.
It's a thing to do in a way, though, isn't it?
In what way? She didn't know that Jin-Chi liked her like that.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Now Hunto knew that Jin-Chi liked her.
Yeah,
but
see, that's the devious part of it.
Well, it was to him, it was like his last chance to finally admit that he liked, because all the other girls were just outsider girls.
Yeah,
they're true. Outsider girls. So he knew that their love for him would have been superficial, frivolous. Whereas this is our best friend that we've grown up with. Yeah. It might just be a little different.
And then lo and behold, she supports the whole thing.
Yeah, she supported, because again, she didn't know that Jin-Chi liked her. So we don't know what would that have been like.
The world may never know.
But yeah, no. So they end up getting together, but he's not telling anybody. Mind you, his parents know about Hunto. Like they grew up together. They basically took care of him. He considers them his family, his auntie, uncles, like that. He goes to their house for dinners and everything. So he just like tell them, but then Jin-Chi's like, not yet. So like they're holding hands out in public. He hurries up and moves his hands if his mom's around or parents or anyone that might know him is around. He'll like, hide his hand, moves his hand and everything from it. And so, of course, that's like, to Hunto, it's like, okay, I'm trying to be respectful of you, try to process everything, but he's ready to risk it all. That's what I'm saying.
You kind of got to respect that he's literally that brazen. You really do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it takes a bold person to do that.
Hunto's character is kind of like the fictional character that it is just like, nah.
Yeah. And so, he's very much, because he didn't really, it's sad, but he didn't have anyone. His mom left when he was young and told him that, Hunto's mom left him and told him that if you're good, then she'll come back. That's a horrible thing to tell a child, because he didn't want her to leave. His dad's never around because he's always working. And then when his dad does show up in one of the episodes, he's telling him, you're coming to move with me. And he goes, you've been gone all these months, and then you come back and you want to try to dictate,
how I live
in my life when you're never around. And so he told him, he was like, I saw some shoes in the front area. Whose are they? He goes, oh, Jin-Chi stayed over. We were playing video games till 3 a.m. That's not what they were doing. But we were playing video games till 3 a.m. He goes, you need to focus more on your life, and stop playing these games, And he's like, you coming back and you trying to tell me,
how to live my life.
Yeah, like I'm doing my internship. I'm doing all these things. My grades are good. Technically, he already could have graduated college already because the credits he has, but he's still just doing the last few because Jin-Chi's still in school.
Right.
So he's kind of they're together, but he didn't already advanced. Could have already been out at this point. And so when the dad comes back and be like, well, you're going to come live with me. I'm selling this condo. Like, so you're uprooting me from the only place that I've ever known since I was a kid and telling me you're forcing me to try to go move. I think it was another
if he's in college, then he already can basically just be like, well, look, I don't need you. I can move on with my life.
But they end up moving together at the end of that episode. And then, which I think is the episode that I stopped on. And then you have another character. She comes in. She's a friend. And I say it like that because
friendly acquaintance.
Yeah, like a friendly acquaintance, because like they're a trio, right? And she's like, I want to be friends with you, and they kind of give her the. So with her coming in as a freshman, she immediately got like heart eyes for Jinchi. Later on, we find out that they met a year ago or years ago, because he helped her with a situation, and ever since then she was kind of just like, oh, you know.
I see.
And so when they meet again,
very one-sided interest because of one kind act or something.
That's literally it.
She must not have had a whole lot of good things happen in her life, though, for that one interaction to mean that much. At least that's how I've seen it happen in other media.
I do know that there is a point later on, like I saw a little clip it, with her and Xia Young talking, and I don't know the meat and potatoes of that interaction, so that could be something explained later. I just haven't seen it yet.
Right.
And then she's very straightforward, too. She was like, I like you. Let's, be together. And he goes, ah. He literally does this because she lunges at him and tries to hug him, and he goes, like, what are you doing? Like, this is a bit much. Like, first of all, you lied you lied and lured me here under false pretenses, and now you all up in my bubble, and I already got a relationship that's trying to set sail. You know what I'm saying? And so that was, I think,
it's like a situationship and a half.
Yeah. Did you just say that?
Yeah.
You're a wizard, Harry. But she immediately, it was no big drama with that, because she immediately backs off when she realized the situation. And she goes, you didn't say that. Like, if you just said that, I wouldn't have, I respect it. I respect it. Right?
Well, that's appreciated.
Exactly. Like, she's a lovable character. And I know it's probably not going to happen.
Does she at least stay as like a friend or something?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said friends.
Once she figures it out, then she's still welcomed in, and now there's just no concern for the drama.
Okay, let me put it this way. In America, if we were to do it,
the conservative side would be so angry.
Censor who? Because the
censor who?
Yeah, we don't know her. No, they did really well with getting the actors, the right actors to portray these characters, and the role and the bond they have is not awkward or anything like that, even on and off screen. So I think they did really well. You
should care about the product that you're putting out.
You should.
And if you don't care, if you're just going to go through the corporate hoopla of sucking every ounce of life out of it till there's nothing left.
Yeah, get some characters close as possible. Now, I understand that there's a lot of adaptations where there's a Japanese adaptation to a Thailand adaptation, and so you would change the names to fit that ethnicity.
Yeah.
And the story is still somewhat the same. You may change a little bit of things, but the story is still the same, but you change the names to fit that person. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
Just put your work in. And they did. Like Secret Lover, and all the ones that I've seen so far, they've really done really well picking people to play these characters really well. And so when they started doing their internships, and I don't know why a place like that, but you get it all the time. You had one, I told you that Jinshi's character, they wanted to do programming, right? So they got into the company to do their internship, and the guy just bullies him. Everything that was wrong is his fault and is not. He messed up, but then he'll blame him and say, you did it, you fixed it. And everyone else in the office knows this. They all know it.
But they don't have the guts.
But they don't say nothing. And I'm just like, so the freshman intern has to take the brunt of someone else's mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jinchi doesn't tell, Hanto that he's gone through that at work. But because Hanto, his mentor, the person he looks up to, the architect that he's so amazing. I really hope I get to work with him. He actually does get to work with him. And so he's having a great time. So he's like, I don't want to tell him I'm having a crap time at my place when he's coming and telling me all this good stuff about, his day.
Right.
So he's kind of just like not telling anything. So there's a scene where he just hugs him and he goes like, just sometimes a hug is all it takes to just make you feel better.
That's true.
And so that's literally what happens. He's just like, he kind of just decompressed, just like it's over with. I'm here with you. I'm fine. So you can see those little tiny, whereas Hanto's is very outward expressive how he feels about him. Jinshi's is more reserved and small. And then it's the tiny details. It's the tiny details that matter in their relationship to me. But then you always have to have a conflict.
Right.
You always have to have somebody that wants to come in and mess up something.
Of course.
And that person is the person that Hanto admires, his mentor.
Oh.
The guy that he wanted to work with so badly. The minute I saw that dude, I was like, if you don't back off.
Is he trying to get with Honto then? Is that what's
Yeah, that's like he's like, oh, you're just young, it's puppy, da 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 da. Like, are you sure he really, into you like that? Then he goes, we're fine. Our relationship is fine. We are good over here.
It's not good. It's actually not fine. It is a rocky foundation. It's not good. So, future me, it was not good. Okay, that foundation was about to crumble. So the mentor, he was a necessary evil. He's a necessary evil because it was not good, and he just, yeah. The foundation sucked.
He's like, but are you like? He's trying to sow discord and like doubt in the relationship because again, when they first met, even though Jinshi was talking to him, the minute he saw him, he moved his hands away because like hiding. He doesn't want anyone to know, and so he sees that little tiny rift. So it's like you're trying to really get in between them, but you don't understand. Honto is not new to this. He's true to this. He's been wanting and loving this guy for years. You really think he's gonna let you come in and try to get into his head and derail that?
Mm-hmm.
No. And so I'm just like, if you don't stop, you better get it together. Get it together. And I think there was one clip that he almost tries to punch him, but he knows it's not a real punch because it was too slow.
Yeah.
I saw a little clip of it. It's an episode that I haven't seen yet, but I was like, you should just let him hit him. So yeah, so the mentor is coming in and he's like, are you sure that your relationship is this, that, and the third? And then he's kind of like, yeah, I'm good. But you can kind of see the doubt a little bit, like it is wearing on him.
It's creeping in there.
It's wearing on him because Jinshi is still not outwardly expressing their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last episode that I ended up on, the brother comes in to play. And so that again just kind of sows issues with
sows in seeds of discord.
Yeah, a little bit in the sense of just the insecurity in the relationship, not so much as like, you can't be my brother, da, 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 da. It's, is he really in this relationship because he wants to be, or is it because he pities me, that type of thing. So now you have to work through that. And then we have to still deal with the parents because the parents don't know. So I know that the brother finds out, and I think the next episode, I don't know when the parents find out.
I like how it ended, but it was very... The stress that we went through just to get we knew from the very beginning. In fact, they thought they were together since freshman year. And he went, we just got together sophomore year. And their parents went, oh, so we were still wrong. But that just means you guys loved each other even then. But to be fair, it's one of those, you never want to be outed. You want them to come clean for it. So that's literally all the parents were waiting for, was for him to just admit that they were together. And before he could even get it out, he goes, we, and the parents was like, we already know. And he goes, what? He goes, oh yeah, we've been knowing. And she was like, I didn't say nothing yet. And the mom was like, you didn't? He goes, no, I just said we. And then she looks at the dad and goes, he didn't say nothing. He goes, I was just following your lead. We agreed that if he comes out and says that they're dating, that I was just going to follow you. I'm following you. And they're having this whole interaction with them still standing there in front of them going, this was a big, moment for me to admit this, just for you to say you've been known. And then the brother, who was also there in panic too, went, what, y'all knew? I was worried for nothing. The brother was the only one that didn't know. But granted, the brother had just came back in their lives, essentially, because he had left for some years. But the whole family was cute. I'm really glad that it ended the way it did.
But I know the next episodes leading up to it will probably be with parents finding out and whether they accept the relationship or not. And if they don't accept the relationship, which the brother, because I did see a preview, the brother did say is like, if our parents don't approve of it, are you going to actually fight for this relationship? Or are you just going to, is it that fickle, right? Yeah. Like, are you really going to fight for this, or are you going to just let it go? And so I'm excited to see what happens with that, which I believe, because like I said, I saw another clip of it. I believe he does say like he will fight for the relationship, like he really does care for him. And at this point, he's really, because he's always been there. It's always been them two together. Like, yes, they're a trio, but when it comes to the two boys, they've always been there together. They've always been by each other's side. So at this point, I think the breakup is very much needed to kind of really
put things into perspective.
Yeah, like to really put stuff into perspective.
This part, this whole segment that we're talking about.
Yeah.
But I want to preface by saying, when they break up, it's needed because they do have a dependency on each other, which again goes back to what we were saying earlier with you automatically was like, no, it's a done deal. We're done, right? No matter how long I knew you. But with these characters, like, they're dependent on each other so much. It was like, I don't want to lose you as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're my best friend. You've always been in my life. I don't want to lose you. And so when he asked him to move in with him, he was skeptical about it. But then Hunto had to go away for intern, like business, like work related trip. So he was gone for like a couple days, a week. I forgot how long they were separated. But in that time, he realized that he was always there.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I need anything, anytime I want to do anything, he was always there.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of spearheaded him to go ahead and agree to move in. Because he was kind of just like wishy-washy on it. He wasn't really sure about it until he went away. And then that's when he was like, I miss you so much. You're finally back. Yeah, let's move in together. And then Hunto was kind of like, but then you'd be leaving your family. And I know how close you are with your family. He was like, well, we can always visit, which is true.
Yeah.
But that was what propelled him to go ahead and agree to live together, because he didn't have him 24/7 for like 3 days or something like that, maybe a week at most is pushing it, but I feel like it was only a couple days. So the breakup, again, I'll say it, the breakup was necessary because they needed to get some type of independence, some type of individuality.
They were becoming a unit.
Yeah, and it helped, them really understand each other and really kind of look within, especially with Hunto, because like I said, at one point was the mentor telling him, like, what you did was not for him, you did it for yourself.
Yeah.
Which is basically what you were saying in the beginning, is like, that's very manipulative, Everything you've done was for yourself. You say that you broke those girls from dating him for him, but you did it for yourself. So the breakup, he said he did it for Jinshi, but the mentor was like, you did it for yourself, you selfish coward, because you're afraid that he was going to choose him over you. The same thing with all those girls that liked him before. You say you did it to weed them out, but you did it for yourself. So it goes back to, what you said earlier in the video.
Well, it's also important to remember, too, is that the best relationships are the ones where you are not a single unit now. You are still two individual people with two individual interests that some of them align, some of them don't, and you can still go your separate ways and then get back together at the end of the day and be happy, even if you're not doing every single thing together. You're not always in each other's sight. You're not always together at every waking second.
Yeah.
And it comes down to being able to then trust that person to not have cheated on you in that time frame that you were off doing your thing while they were off doing their thing or something.
Yeah.
Which, that's the best kind of relationship, obviously. If you don't feel you can trust that person, you're not in the right relationship for yourself.
And that's why I think that in the end, it got to that point of just like, and Hunto's character was kind of just like, it's my fault, because I should have trusted you and trusted our relationship, even though I was so insecure about it. I should have trusted that, to know that at the end, if it came down to it, would you choose? He didn't want him to choose between his family. He never wanted that to be a factor.
Right.
But it's like, if it came down to it, I should trust the fact that we love each other enough that you would choose me if it came to that.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what I said, the breakup was very much needed, because there was so much insecurity going on both sides, mostly with Hunto's character, but the uncertainty was there. So it was like, yes, the foundation was there, but it wasn't as solid as he was trying to make it out to be, which the mentor kept saying that, even though he was saying it for nefarious means.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, they were too dependent on each other. So the breakup was very much needed for them to really look within themselves and where they wanted to be in this relationship. Were they both still jealous? Yes, but it's more of I know for certain that this person is trying to pursue you, not just because this person is talking to you.
Right.
Because that was Hunto's problem. It was like, he didn't want him talking to no girls.
Yeah.
Aside from their friends. So, because his insecurity was so, there.
And that's where the whole relationship just started off on the worst kind of note you could start it off on.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, the
the
breakup was needed for Jinshi to really be like, I really do love and care for him. That, yes, it will hurt if mom and dad don't approve of it, but at the same time, I'm not about to lose him over this. And so he was basically like, just got to bite the bullet and just rip that Band-Aid off and just see where let the chips fall where they may, basically.
Yep.
And luckily, they fell nicely.
Yep.
There was one scene that happened. And I was like, I know the parents saw that, but if you want
For both of them,
Mm-hmm.
because he's always, Jinshi's always been there for him and vice versa. And so it'll be a very much eye-opening for Jinshi to realize, to be like, I've been keeping it a secret for months at this point, because, time jumps and stuff. Months. And when is it going to get to that point of finally confessing, just facing my fear? Because that's what it is, just a fear. He doesn't know how his family and the people close to him will react to it. He doesn't really want to lose them, because his family, compared to Hanto's family, he's very, very close to his mom and dad. Whereas Hanto is not. So he's kind of like, I don't care what they think about me. You're my family. Like, you are my family. And depending on how, on Uncle take it, I still see you as my family. Yes, they are great added bonus parents to me, but you are, my person. And so with Jinshi, it's kind of like, you're my person, but I love and care, like, my family. He's very close.
He doesn't want to lose them.
Yeah, he's very close to his family. And so now we're getting to that point of, how will they take it?
Yeah.
And will it be one of those, they don't take it but they come around? Or will it be that they already knew? Or will it be just like they accept it in the best way that they can and then try to really like learn and grow from it? I don't know.
I get the feeling they already knew.
Did you just say that?
Yeah.
You're a wizard, Harry.
See, that my thought process would be that they kind of already knew, because the closeness that they had growing up. And as I got older, mostly, I feel like with Hanto, it was high school, middle school, high school is when he felt it went from being just my friend, my very best dear friend, to I like this person.
Right.
So I feel like, even though we keep saying like, oh, when they were kids, no, I think changing it from just this person I really care about, my best friend, to I want to date this person. I feel like that was mostly possibly middle school, high school time for him. So you still had some years to really come to process with it. But I don't know. But that's how, as far, and again, like I said, I don't go in order. I don't do bit by bit by bit by bit. Now, I've only did the first 6-ish episodes, so I probably let some stuff out. But it's best that I want you, if you're interested in it, to go check out the show. You can watch it on WeTV or iQIWI, I believe, is the two websites that at least I know that I can access it on. So yeah, you do need a subscription, I believe, though, for them, like most things in life.
And of course, we're not sponsored by any
We're
of
not
this.
sponsored by any of this.
We're too small to be sponsored.
It'd be great if I did, because you take my money every month.
I have a quick question. If you were dating somebody and you found out later that they basically blocked any other prospects for you, would you be, like, you're dating that person now, but you find out that they blocked any other prospects for you, would you be upset with them for it?
1,000%. 1,000%. I don't care if you liked me. I don't care what your reasoning was. You're preventing me outright from having even the slightest chance with someone that I could have had a chance with.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're wanting to, but it took you doing this backhanded way to get with me.
Mm-hmm.
Hell to the yeah, I'm pissed.
Yeah, because he wasn't.
No. I'd be furious. I'd be enraged. I'd probably slap the bitch. No. You don't do, no.
Yeah, so
That's so shitty to do to somebody. And you're literally just making it impossible for me to be able to potentially have a happy, normal life with someone. I don't think so. No, you're dead to me. I mean, you don't mess with people. I'm a Scorpio, okay? You and I are both Scorpios. You don't mess with a Scorpio and wind up not regretting your life choices that day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't buy into all of it too much, but when it comes to the you don't anger a Scorpio, you don't anger a Scorpio. You've angered me at that moment in time by confessing to me that you have genuinely messed with my opportunities.
But he didn't confess on purpose. He found out through another person.
Okay. Well, regardless, the point being is that you messed with my potential love life. That's not okay.
Or just experiences, because
that too.
How fickle those girls were. They probably wouldn't have been dating for long, but just having that experience.
And that's fine. I appreciate that you at least saw that in them, which is great.
Let me experience it.
Let me figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
Don't assume right away, even though you were absolutely 100% correct.
But yeah, so I
get it. It's a 50-50. I'd be furious. I'd be furious, but at the same time, I would think about it after the fact and go over and be like, okay, I see why. I still wouldn't get back with you. I'd break up with you and be like, I don't care if you did it for the right-ish reasons. Mm-hmm. You prevented me from living my life, so that you could try.
Relationship-wise.
Yeah, so that you could get in there and squirm your way in. Even though it was well-meaning, from my viewpoint, you've squirmed your way in that regard to some degree.
You did it in a backhanded scheming way.
Yep.
Not a truthful way.
Nope.
Because mind you, he didn't confess it to him. It was someone else that said it, and they were all together, and he just happened to just say it, and he goes, huh? And then Huntel gets embarrassed because he's like, yeah, I did do all that other stuff. So regretful he was, or embarrassed he was about it, because he was like, yeah, I did stop these interactions. So it wasn't like a malicious. Yeah,
it was somewhat malicious. But
it was also like regretful too, because it's like he knew how much he wanted to be in a relationship, but you know what I'm saying?
It was well-meaning malicious.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's the thing.
It's literally both sides of the same coin.
Yeah,
and really happening at the same time. It's a paradox.
Yeah, so.
It's well-meaning malicious. It's literally a paradox because one shouldn't occur with the other, but it just does.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Later.
And they do. They take my money every month.